Hello. Hi. Good evening from Nigeria to wherever you are joining me from. This is another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. Good evening and welcome to this show. Please let me know where you're watching me from so that I can give you a shout out. Hello. I'm super excited to be here as always. I'm just so glad for the privilege to be here and for the fact that we can do this, right? That you can join, that you have the data to watch, that we can have this conversation. I mean, it is just something to be very grateful for because when I count my blessings, I count my blessings twice. Chioma is here. Oh my god. You are the first person to drop a comment here. Y'all, if you don't know, Chioma is hosting um and she's hosting an event, would I say a conference right now at the Creatives in Africa. Yeah, Creatives in Business Africa, where I was one of the speakers. And just today, Chioma just rounded off. I'm sure Chioma just rounded off her event to be here. My goodness, Chioma, just thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do. I'm saying this on my show here on YouTube. Thank you for all that you did, all that you do for the youth. Chioma is hosting this event to empower 10,000 African youths. I mean, 10,000. And the speakers that have graced this event have been nothing short of phenomenal. Chioma, thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do. I celebrate you. Every platform that I have, I will always celebrate it because what you're doing is not what everyone has the boldness and the courage to take on. So thank you and thank you again. I know you were not expecting this, but thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. Chioma Nana is her name. You might want to go check her out on Facebook. She's doing amazing things there. All right. So let me give other people a shout out. One for some Doshku, thank you for being here. Yes, that name seems kind of familiar. Is it from Facebook? Solomon Mabo, you are always here, and I always look forward to your contributions during the live show. Thank you very much for being here. And you're watching from Plateau. Okay, Somtosh, where are you watching from? Choma says, after last session, I promised myself not to miss anyone again. Thank you for being here. I love and appreciate you. Just thank you. Okay. Alabisi Victoria says, good evening, Ma'am Chinaza. Good evening. Blessing Madumere. I know you. Thank you very much. Choma says, thank you so much, Ma. Being our first speaker, you opened the floodgates, and it's something I honor. I still get testimonies from your session. What do you expect when you are the anchor? Like you're a powerhouse on your own. Some people will be like, are we now discussing Choma Nana? She is worth being discussed. Like when you check out what she does, you'll understand why I'm doing this. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for being at another episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. This is the 18th episode here on YouTube. And I'm super grateful. I was saying it before many of you joined. I'm super grateful for the privilege to do this, for the grace to do this, to have these conversations, to just have these heart-to-heart conversations with you and to drive positive change through this platform. I'm so thankful for this, and I'm very thankful for you for being here. When I count my blessings, I count you twice because you make it possible for me to be here. Like if I come here and there's no audience, I might have to keep showing up because I have to, but you make me look forward to having this conversation. So thank you for being here. Well, for some Toshko says, I'm watching you live for the first time. Okay. So this is how the conversation goes. For those of you who do not know, Honest Conversations is a show where we talk about heavy where we discuss heavy truths, okay? Those things that many people are not comfortable discussing, or those topics that we shy away from. That is what we discuss here. I'm not shy. I don't shy away from important topics that I know will help you in your personal life and in your career, personal development. I don't discuss business, but I discuss what I know will help you in your business. Like if you improve as an individual, every other thing that concerns you that you do improves too, right? So that is what I'm all about here. We have brutally honest conversations, and sometimes they can get too personal, but they are for us and for our well-being. All right. So thank you for being here. And this is how the conversation goes. This was supposed to be in the form of an interactive session, like on Zoom, where you can get to talk, you can get to ask your questions, and I'll get to see your faces as God helps us. One of my dreams for this show is that a time will come where we'll have a studio and people will be able to come to the studio for these conversations. All right, we can have guests who come. You get to witness the show, and of course it will be streamed online. But then you that are in the show, when it's time for questions, you can stand up, ask your questions. You know how we do Hey Steve and the Oprah Winfrey show and the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, that is my dream for this show, and we are building it one block at a time. We're taking it one step at a time. So you all are more like the founding members of, or the founding participants and audiences of this show. And I'm so thankful and grateful for you again and again. Thank you very much. Like, I love you so much. I can't even stop myself from smiling as I calm down. Okay, so 7 minutes is already gone. Let's get started already. Tonight we have this conversation to have. Why did I choose this conversation for tonight's session? The topic that I chose is no one is coming, in brackets, to save you. And the subtitle is taking responsibility for your life, especially as a youth. Taking responsibility for your life, especially as a youth. Abiola Shite says, I'm watching for the first time. Oh my God, thank you very much for being here. Solomon Mambo says, I look forward to the studio sessions and pray towards it also. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you. Shoma says, your dream will be a reality. Amen, amen. Temitope Joseph, you're watching for the first time. So many first timers. Please, Blessing, please give these ones first timers Zobo. Is it puff puff that you want or dodo? Anyone you want, so we have it. So tonight we'll be discussing how to take responsibility for your life, especially as a young person. Why did I choose this topic for this conversation? It's because I have, based on what I do online, based on the social work that I do, and so many messages that I receive, and from my interactions with many youths, I have come to realize that we are very entitled. Like, we are an entitled generation. We are an entitled generation. I'll say that again. We are an entitled generation. And I'm wondering, how did we get here? How did we get to that point where we delegate matters that concern us, our future, our destinies, to others? How do we allow others to be the ones to make decisions that affect us? Like, how do we put our future in the hands of other people in the name of entitlement? How did we get here? So you have a rich uncle, you have a rich brother, and you are waiting. You are not working, you are not doing something substantial with your life, but you are relaxed, expecting your rich uncle to come and train you in school or to set up a business for you. And when that rich uncle or that rich relative doesn't do that, I hear you start saying that he's not benevolent. He's not doing what he should do. Like, did you make the money for him? Were you there when he was building? Were you there? So this conversation is solely based on how we can, as young people, understand that this life is ours and we have every right to make it what we want it to be, regardless of anyone coming to save us or not. Because the truth is, nobody is coming. Nobody is coming. All right? So why did I choose that topic? Nobody is coming to save you, because this is your life. And the day you begin to take responsibility for your life is the day you start living. There are so many days that you start living. The day you start, you stop caring what people say. The day you stop doing this and that. But the day you understand that this life you are living is yours, that is the day you begin to look for solutions to your problem. I have a book that I would have launched last year, but God had other plans, made me to start writing Dear Young One instead. And the title of that book is Clean That Mess. Okay? Why did I mean, the title was inspired by this analogy that your house is dirty. Okay, so let's say that I am a visitor to you. I came to your house and I saw that your house is dirty. Cobwebs everywhere, nylons, dirt everywhere, mud everywhere. Like, your house is just a mess. All right, like, it is an analogy. All right, now I came in, it's so dirty, and I asked you, why is your house so dirty? Why is everywhere so messed up? And the only thing you could tell me was that you had some visitors who came in with muddy shoes and they messed your floor up. They ate biscuits and they did not pick up the nylons from the floor, and then they left. So because you had visitors who messed your house up, your house is now supposed to remain dirty for the rest of your life, right? Do you understand what dirt does to you? Do you understand what dust does to you? Do you understand what being in an unclean environment does to you? Your life is your house, okay? And it is your responsibility. It is your own responsibility to decide whether your house will be dirty or clean. People will always come to your house and mess it up. But whether it will be clean or not will be solely dependent on you, because you are the one living in that house. And if you stay in that environment for too long, you might get a cough, you might get an asthma if you're allergic to dust, you might fall sick, because let's be truthful, you cannot stay in a dirty environment for long without falling sick. So your life is your house. Your life is your responsibility. The cleanliness and the beauty of your house is left to you. Nobody is coming to clean it for you. Nobody. Your visitor is not going to come and clean it for you. So in that book, what I try to explain is that your life might be messed up. People might have come, disappointed you, messed your life up, made you an emotional wreck, right? But then you cannot wait for them to come and be the ones to correct the wrongs that they made in your life. You are the one to take that proactive measure, that proactive step. You are the one to go for therapy. You are the one to decide that I cannot continue living this life. Because you're going to be a wreck when you are old. See, we are young, but we will not be young forever. We are young, but it's only a matter of time. Like, youth, you see, youth is so fickle. You close your eyes, you open it, you are 50, and you're wondering what happened. How did I even get here? The last time I checked, I was 25. How did I become 50? And then you look at your life, you say that you have not done anything substantial with your life. You say that you've been blaming people for messing your life up, And at 50, you are still blaming people for messing your life up. I know someone who is 37, 39, who should be 39 now, but he's still blaming his mom and his uncles for what they did to him when he was 13 or 14. And today he's still a wreck. If he is in the next 11 years, he will be 50 and he will still be a wreck until he wakes up and decides that this is my life. And regardless of what has happened, regardless of all the things that I've faced, I decide how it goes from henceforth. So you might be in a financial, you might be a mess financially, right? You don't have any money, you don't have any sponsor. That's fine. Nobody owes you anything. The day you understand that nobody owes you anything, that is the day you stop expecting things from people. And that is the truth. The day you understand that your uncle does not owe you anything, your rich uncle, your rich aunties, your siblings do not owe you anything for real. It is only a sense of morality. Only a sense of morality that will make people to sponsor you or to help you. But naturally, nobody owes you anything. The truth is, your parents have brought you into this world. They have brought you here, into this cruel world. You are grown. You are watching me. You have data to watch me. You have an Android phone. You have maybe an iPhone even. You have a roof over your head. You have, one way or the other, you have some of the things that that makes life comfortable to an extent. But then for some reason, there are some things that you don't have that you're waiting for other people to take up for you. See, if you need anything, go get it for yourself. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. The kids are not yet asleep. If you need anything, it is your responsibility to go get it. Stop expecting anyone to do anything for you. They are not owing you. They are not owing you. The only people that they were supposed to owe you actually are your parents, because they brought you into this world. And after you're 18, they're not owing you anything again. No. In some countries, it is 21. After you're 21, they're not owing you anything again. So for some of you that are in your parents' house, now this is not to throw shades at those of you that are still in your parents' house, right? If you're in your parents' house and you're working, you're looking for ways to be independent, kudos to you. But for those of you in your parents' house who feel like, I should be here, like this is my father's house, I should be here. You just call it your father's house, not your house. It's not your house. Whether you are male or female. This is why I have a problem with people who fight for properties that their parents left or that their parents have. I know of a young man. I was told the story of a young man who is not even distant from me here, who told his father when he was alive to die so that he could inherit his properties. He's told his father, Daddy, you need to die so that I can take up what you have. Why would anybody do that? It is the kind of mentality that we have. For me, youths, 21st century youths. We are Gen Zs. I'm part of the Gen Zs. I should have been a millennial, but I came on the year that separated Gen Zs from millennial. So I'm a millennial. So if you're a Gen Z here, you are a millennial. Nobody owes you anything. I understand that you are trained to expect things from people, okay? You are trained to want things from people. That's fine. But if you want it, go get it. You want a new phone, you are angry that your rich uncle does not want to buy it for you. For real? You are not handicapped. You are not blind. You are not deaf. You are not lame. You have every part of your body intact, but you are still waiting for somebody to live your life for you, to provide what you need for your life for you. Nobody is coming to save you. I have read the stories of so many successful people. I like reading not success stories. I like reading the stories of people before they became who they are. I don't see the glory. I want to know the story. Okay? So I've read the stories of so many successful people. And can I tell you what? These people came from very poor backgrounds. Name them. Steve Harvey. I don't know if you follow American celebrities, but they are the ones that I follow and they inspire me greatly. Steve Harvey came from a very poor background. Oprah Winfrey, that I mentioned earlier, Oprah Winfrey wined and dined with poverty. Viola Davis, she's an actress. This lady slept with rats in the same, not like the rats would visit, the rats lived in the same apartment with them. I didn't say a rat, the rats with their families, with their family members, relatives, even ancestors that don't want to die. These rats lived in the same apartment with them. Like, there are sections for rats in their houses. If rain was falling, it would fall on them. Sometimes people will go days without food. That's where Viola Davis was coming from. But today, these people are millionaires in dollars. Lisa Nichols, this is the woman that inspires me the most. Lisa Nichols was so poor that she could not even buy diapers for her child. Like, her child would poop on his body. Then one day, Lisa Nichols looked at her child with all the poop on his body and said, Jelani, this will be the last time. Okay, she said, Mommy will never be this broke again. Mommy will never be this broke again. And that was the day she decided that whatever it would take for her to create a good life for her child, she was going to do it. I don't know if you get me. The day she understood that actually nobody is coming to save me. No family member is coming to save me. Like, I'm in this world by myself. I came to this world alone. And this is my life. It is a mess. But does it have to continue being a mess? No, it doesn't. But here in Nigeria, we are so entitled. We are so entitled. I don't know whether it's because we practice this communal living. So it has made us to think that people owe us things. Even people that you're not even so related to, they owe you a lot. They don't owe you anything, not even a dime. So I have really rich friends. Really rich friends. But I'd rarely ask them for anything. And if I do, it is with the mindset that if he or she is willing to do that, it's fine. If not, it's fine. You don't owe me anything. And this mindset has helped me to overcome envy. It has helped me to overcome disappointments, unnecessary disappointments, because I'm high on expectations. I expected that you would help me as my father's brother. I expected that you would help me as my friend. So I have a platform, and Chama Nana here is a good friend of mine, right? And well, morality says that we rise by lifting others, right? And whatever platform that we have, we can use that to shine the light of others. Morality. But in the general sense of it, I don't owe Chioma my platform. If Chioma comes tomorrow and tells me, hey, Naza, can you please help me talk about my program on your platform? I have every right, 100%, to say, no, I will not. Without even having to add any reason to it. Because I don't owe her my platform. I decide what to do on my platform. And if she has that understanding too, she'll be like, oh, okay, cool. If I need her platform and I go to her and ask her, Chioma, can you please help me publicize my program on your platform? She says no. It's cool. It doesn't affect our relationship. It doesn't affect the respect that we have for each other. It is just for morality's sake or just for friendship's sake that I would want to do that, or that she would want to listen to me and do what I request. But on a general ground, she doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe her anything. I don't know if you understand. There's a section, or there's a video, an episode of Honest Conversations here that we did on expectations. This video might be what you also need to let go of disappointments and to overcome disappointments and hurts, because what actually hurts us is not that these people did not do these things for us, but that we expected them to do it for us. So when they ended up not doing it for us, we start feeling hurt because we feel entitled to them doing some certain things for us, or to them not doing some certain things for us. So this is your life, and you have 100 responsibility for it. You take 100 responsibility for this life. Take responsibility. Pay attention. Take responsibility for the actions you've not taken, the actions you are supposed to take that you did not take, the actions you have not taken, and the actions that you've taken already. Take responsibility for the actions you have not taken, the actions you are supposed to take that you did not take and it's now past, and the ones that you already took that kept you in this particular position. So where you are right now is as a result of, I'm so sorry, please give me one moment. My baby is knocking on the door. One moment, please. So sorry about that. So sorry. When you have a baby, you don't expect anything less. Okay. So when you start taking responsibility for your life, that is the time you start seeing that there are several possibilities. Because when you don't take responsibility for your life, you don't see just the actions that you can take to make your life better. That's the truth. You don't see the different opportunities that are available to you and the many things that you can do to take yourself to a better place, because you are so focused on others doing things for you. But the day you start seeing yourself as the CEO of your life, so the way I look at it is, treat your life as a project and see yourself as the manager of that project. Your life is a project. So many people think that when you use God as an excuse, you are safe. More like, no, you don't have to take responsibility for your life, or you don't have to make decisions for yourself. It is God who decides how our lives will go. It is God who decides what happens in your life and what doesn't happen. I see those people as lazy people. To be blunt, to be quite honest, I see them as lazy people. Why? Because God has put you on this earth and He has given you everything that you need to live a bountiful life here. He has given you the talent. He has given you um, the ability for you to create the life that you need to create. But for some reason, you are still bringing God into a project or a phase of your project that He has already given you the ability to handle. So, taking responsibility for your life is not just about people, it's also about you calling God in some situations. So, you have a headache. Instead of you to just take paracetamol and you'll be fine, or Panadol and you'll be fine, you're saying that God has to come and heal you here. Like, if He doesn't heal you, you'll continue having this headache. I don't know what the color of your problem is. Yeah, I understand your faith might not might take you when you pray, you don't take medication and you're fine. That's cool. But if it gets to that point where you actually need to take medications, won't you do that? Or would you keep calling God to come and do something that He has already given us humans the ability to settle? To come and solve problems that He has already given us the ability to settle as humans. He has given us the wisdom to identify the solutions to these problems. But for some reason, you are still calling God to come and do them for you. Like, how does that work? How do you do it, you guys? How do you do it? As a young person, the earlier you take responsibility for your life, the better for you. If you are below 20 years here, I doubt if anybody here is below 20 years, but if you're 20 years below and below here, you don't know what you're doing. Like, you don't know how much good you're doing yourself for being here. Because even though it might not really go into your conscious mind, this conversation is being recorded in your subconscious mind. So you find yourself being able to take responsibility in situations where you could have easily pushed blame or passed the baton or delegated responsibility to somebody else. So you want to go to school abroad, you want to go to school in Nigeria or anywhere, and you don't have the means. Instead of you to start working or writing to people to help you do that, not because you feel entitled, but because you want them to see reasons to invest in you. You are busy waiting for a rich uncle, or you are busy feeling entitled to someone else's hard-earned money. Please understand that this way that you want them to invest in you, the money did not fall from the roof for them. It didn't fall from the sky for them. So they have to have the reason for spending money on you. Like, you are not their priority. I know this is blunt and this is too, it might sound harsh and insensitive, but you are not their priority. You are not their immediate family member. And even if you are not what they want to. It is not you that they want to spend their money on. They have the right to decide where to spend their money and how. So even if you're asking anybody for any help, ask hoping that they help, and not because I'm not thinking that they should help, because it is that should that actually kills us. It is that I expect you to do this for me because you are. It is what is killing us. Your destiny is at stake. There is fire on the mountain. Your house is burning. And you are waiting for somebody to come and quench the fire in your house. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not making any effort for the fire in your house to be quenched. And you're expecting your neighbors to come and enter inside the fire, is it not? No. People want to see people want to see the effort you are making to be able to help you. So there was a post I put out on Facebook one time, and they said, it is easier to help someone that is trying to get up. Like, it's easy for me to lend a helping hand to someone that is on the floor, but is trying to get up, than someone who is just rolling on the floor and calling for help. It is easy to help. So to he who has, like the Bible says in the parable of the servants and the talents, to he who has, more will be given. To he who makes efforts, help will be given. All right? It is that simple. Nobody is coming to save you. Look at it also in this direction, or from this perspective. You are in a pit. Okay? You are in a pit. You are walking with a friend, and for some reason you didn't know that there was a pit there. You stepped on the grass and you fell inside the pit. So you expect this friend to get you out of that pit. And this friend probably doesn't even want to help you out of that pit. What do you do? What do? You look for ways to get out. You look for ways to get out. You can scream for help if it is a deep pit. You can scream for help, or maybe people that are around you to come and help you. I know this is a tough it's a tough understanding to have, but this is the mindset that will help you to actually stop feeling entitled to people's resources. Believe me, I was never the kind of person that expected much from people. All right, I had someone who said he was going to sponsor me, my education and everything at some point in my life, and he actually tried, but Jam was just messing up with themselves, not me. And at some point, he withdrew his support. I don't remember feeling entitled. I don't remember feeling hurt. Why? Looking back now, I can say that it's because I didn't even feel entitled to whatever I was getting before he withdrew his support. I didn't feel, okay, you promised to do this for me, so you should continually do this for me. No. This has helped me to maintain my sanity for the longest time, as long as I can remember. This is also why when I receive some messages on Facebook and people tell me how I should pay attention to them, how I should reply their messages that are not even of any value to me, how I should give them money, I'll just laugh. I'll be like, it's your audacity for me. Like, really, it's your audacity for me. Because who told you that I owe you my time, that I owe you my resource, that I owe you my counsel? Who told you that? Who told you that? Like, how did we get here? The only thing that you owe anyone and that anyone owes you is love and kindness. Be kind to everyone and love everyone. Okay? But you see, your resources, your time, my resources, my time, they don't belong to you. You're not entitled to them. I'm not entitled to yours. This understanding will make you to get up from your slumber. This understanding will make you to wake up. It will make you to wake up from your sleep and start looking for ways to save yourself from this mess that you are in. You might be 25 like me, or 28, or 30, or 22. But if you're within that age range, because my audience are from 18, my audience is from 18 years to 34 years. Okay, so we are youths, we are young people. But because we are young people, we think that we are handicapped. We think that we are that we are helpless. We think that we are helpless. That's the word. We think that we can't do anything, or we shouldn't do anything on our own. We shouldn't. So Choma Nana, I think I remember a story she shared about when she was in school. She was getting money from her parents as a girl that is in school, but then she wanted more. She didn't feel entitled to the money or to whatever she was getting from her parents. So she started selling stuffs in school, just to be able to have that confidence that I'm making money, right? So it's a very good mindset to have from a very young age, because it will help you as you journey through life to like I said before, to avoid hurt, to avoid disappointment, to avoid unnecessary heartbreak. I say unnecessary because really nobody owes you anything. I keep saying this. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Whoever you want to be in life is dependent on you and your choices, the decisions that you make. Whoever you want to be, whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do is dependent on you. Solely dependent on you. So that when you now know that it depends on you, that is when you start looking at, okay, this is my life, but I need this, but I cannot get it. Who can I liaise with that can help me get that? So if it's someone that is higher up, you might look for a way to serve this person or to get into this person's inner circle so that you can make yourself visible to them, right? So that if anything comes up, they might mention your name in that place where you want to be, or they can give you that opportunity to try out that skill or to develop yourself in certain ways, but you don't feel entitled. So because I designed graphics for you, I expect you to mention that I designed graphics for you on your page. No. If you're serving, serve for the purpose of serving, not with the expectation to be publicized. Okay? This is going to help you. Believe me, this is going to help you. This is going to help you. Nobody owes you anything. If I decide to give all my savings to God, I'm not giving my savings to God because I want him to give me 100 times what I've given him. I think this is a misconception in Christendom. Well, I don't want to talk about that, but we have this notion that if you give God this, like God blesses you because you give him this. Like if you don't give God something, he will not give you something. He will not give you back in return. Like everything that is on earth is his. Everything is his. So if you want to give to God, give to God because you want to give to him. Like there's nothing you give to him that will be enough. He's the owner of everything, right? He's the king of the universe. He says silver and gold is mine. So you're not giving to God because he doesn't have. So he owes you a favor. No, you're giving to him because he's worthy of your appreciation. And leave it at that. Don't go and start telling him, God, remember I gave you my last 100 naira. You have not multiplied it. Did you give him to multiply it? No. Let him do what he wishes to do. Don't give with expectation. Like, I don't know how to put that so that I don't come out as wrong or as, I don't come out blasphemous. But don't give to receive something in return. Give because you want to give. Be kind because you want to be kind. Show love because it is your nature to show love, not because you're expecting love in return. It's not trade by barter. Exactly. So Solomon says, be careful not to make it a trade by barter thing. Yes. Do what you want to do out of the abundance of your heart, not because you want to get something, like the person is supposed to do something for you back in return. I've served so many people and I've not received anything from them, and I'm not expecting to receive anything from them. And this has made my relationship with them to be as solid as ever. because there is no expectation. We're not battering anything. We are not. And with this mindset, believe me, I can mingle with even the richest person, and I won't expect anything. I will be fine just talking and having conversations with this person, or just being close with this person. I don't know if you understand me. This understanding will save you for the rest of your life. It will save you. It will save you. So you are in a mess, but you are waiting for a savior to come and save you. Nobody is coming. That savior is not coming. Be your own savior. Be your own savior. Take your life by the horn. Take the bull by the horn. Your life is the bull. Take the bull by the horn. What am I relegating to others? What decisions, what matters of destiny am I relegating to others? What part of my life, what crucial and critical part of my life am I not paying attention to because I expect others to pay attention to that? I'm not going to come and shower for you. If I have my bath, it is for me. If you have your bath, it is for you. This is your body. And whether it is healthy, whether it is clean, it is your responsibility, not mine. If I'm a friend who cares, I might tell you, come on, you need to shower. You have the mouth odor. You need to brush, right? But it is your own responsibility to look after yourself, to take care of your life. It is your own responsibility to decide the direction your life will go. You are not to flow with the tide. You are not to take life as it goes. If you do that, you're going to die like every other person. You're going to live a life like many other people that we do not even know. Like many people have. Do you get this? Many people have come and gone. Many people have walked this face of the earth, faceless and nameless. But you have a goal. You have a vision for your life. But the problem is that you're waiting for somebody else to come and activate it for you. It's not going to work. It's not going to work anyhow. Okay, so let's say that actually somebody comes to take up this responsibility for you, for your life, and start managing this project that is your life for you. What happens when that person backs off? Backs off. Yeah. What happens? What happens when that person decides that, okay, I'm done with this project. I'm not interested in it anymore. What happens then? You'll be a wreck. You will be a wreck. But when you treat your life as a project, you know that whoever you employ on this project is your employee, but you are the overall manager. So whoever decides not to be part of this project again, the project goes on. This is your story. You are supposed to be the protagonist in your story, but you are busy playing the main role be the main character in other people's lives, in other people's stories, in other people's scripts. You are not acting your script. You are not playing your role well in your life. You are the main actor in your role, in your movie. You are the protagonist in this story, but you are not doing anything about it. You are not. And you must understand that the way this movie will end depends on you. Every day you have a chance to write a new page for your life, but you're not writing anything because why should you? How could you write something like why should you write something on the pages of your life? You're waiting for me to come and write for you. You're waiting for people to come and write, to come and make contributions to your life. Write, let us contribute. Start writing. Let us see how far we can look. Let us see how well you are doing. Then we can decide whether to come in or not. Start doing something for your life, for yourself, so that when people even come to help you, they are not coming because you don't have. They're coming because they want to add to what is already being done. There's something that I have discovered, that those ones who have often receive more. I said it before, to he who has, more will be given. If people perceive you as rich, or if you are rich, you have, more people will be able to give you. More people will want to give you, as opposed to when you are poor, because you'll be seen as a parasite. When you are busy building the bricks of your life, when you are busy writing the story for your life or of your life, it is easy for people to want to make contributions to add to the beauty or to be part of the success story of that script or that movie. People want to invest in projects that have good prospects. So if I see you as a potential star, it's easy for me to invest in you because I see that you have what it takes to actually make this work. I see that you are putting in the work to be a star. So I can easily invest what I have so that you can be what you want to be, so that we can actually benefit from this thing. But if you are doing nothing, I have no reason to invest in you. It's as simple as it gets. It's as simple as it gets. So we can stay on this topic for the whole night and we won't even be able to finish it. Like, it's a simple concept. It's a simple understanding that will save your life. But if we stay on this, we'll just be going in circles because there really isn't much to this. There isn't really much to say on this topic other than this is your life. You have refused to take some actions yesterday that could have been a turning point for you. And today you are still blaming people for not taking that action for you. You are choosing today, you're refusing to take actions today that will ensure that your future is secure, because you're still waiting for people to take that decision for you. 50 years from now, you will still keep blaming people for not taking actions that you could have taken that could have changed your life for better. But if you understand today that even though I am in this mess, I can get out of it because this is my life and there is nothing that is impossible to me. The moment you start to say, this is my life, this is, I'm responsible for how my life goes. I'm responsible for the rest of my story. Yeah, you are. I'm responsible for how the rest of this story of my life goes. I'm responsible for how my financial future will be. I'm responsible for whether I will die poor or die rich, even though I was born in a poor background. Even though I was born with no dime, with no silver spoon, I wasn't, even though I wasn't born with any spoon at all, I can die with a golden spoon. What is the richest mineral? I can die with a spoon made out of that mineral. It's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice. It is not Nigeria. It is not your parents. Yeah, your parents could have done something because they brought you here. This is also why I see parenting as a huge deal. Like, you don't bring a human here to suffer that child or to put them in the mouth of this hungry life that just wants to eliminate anything that comes close to it. You want to ensure that you're bringing a child into this world and you're going to be there. You're going to give them a good head start at life. Okay, so even if that is not your reality, even if your parents did not do that, how about your children? So you're blaming your parents for not doing better. What are you doing today? How are you ensuring that your life is better? Like, how are you ensuring that when you have kids tomorrow, they will not blame you? How are you ensuring that your kids will not say the same thing you're saying about your parents to you, about you? What steps are you taking to change the narrative? This is a cliche, but like I used to say, cliches were once held high. Just that people abused them, people overused them and they became too common. But the fact that they are now common doesn't make them any less true. Okay, so there's this cliche that it's if how was it said? It's not your fault if you are born poor, but it is your fault if you die poor. This is your life. It's not your fault if you're born into a family of illiterates. It is your fault if you die an illiterate. Because we are in a generation that we have everything at our beck and call. Really, really. If those children of 1980s and the 60s, if they had the same gadgets that we have today, the same technologies that we have today, I'm sure because they are more responsible than us. That is the truth. I'm sure they would have even made more progress than my generation is making now. Like, we are busy on social media scrolling up and down. We are busy chit-chatting. We are whiling away our time. Like, we are in a generation where you have YouTube. YouTube is the biggest resource for anything that you want. Like, any question that you have today, someone has made a video on it on YouTube. Or if it's not on YouTube, you have Google. Someone has asked a question, someone has written a blog post on that topic. But for some reason, my generation still thinks that it's their parents' fault that they are poor right now. You have every skill at your beck and call. You have social media. You have the internet. But we are the most lazy generation. How? We are the most entitled generation. We are the generation that does the least, even though we have the most resources. And that goes to show the future of our children. That goes to show what is going to be going on in the next 50 years, in the next 30 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 60, 100 years. Well, I don't expect to be here by then. In the next 100 years, I mean. So if we have all these things right now and we are still complaining, we are still crying foul, imagine what is going to happen to the next generation, because it seems like it's getting worse as new generations come, we get worse. Come, close the door. So sorry. It's okay. Come. All right. So he wants to sleep. If you don't know, I have a baby boy that is 3 years old. So let's sleep, okay? So we are the generation that has the most, but we are doing the least. And it makes me worried about my children's generation. It makes me more worried about what is going to be like in the next few years. We're going to be a wreck. We're going to be a mess. Do you know that? We are going to be more messed up than our parents. Stop, Joshua. We're going to be more messed up. I'm so sorry about the distraction. We're going to be more messed up than our parents' generation. And the next generation are going to be more messed up than ours. So, whatever life that you want to create, you have all the tools. Like one of my mentors would say, if you don't have the money to pay for courses or pay for memberships, if you don't have the resources to subscribe for paid plans or anything, you have enough free resource on Google and on YouTube to make enough money to pay for those resources. I don't know if you get that. We have YouTube is free. You can learn basically anything on YouTube. All right. So you have enough resource to get started. You have enough free resource. Joshua, what is it? You have enough resource to get started to be able to afford those paid stuffs. Okay, so that your parents are not rich or that you don't have this and that is not an excuse. Get started. Get started. This is your life, and what you want out of it is your choice. What you want out of it, how it's going to end, how you're going to end is your decision to make. Okay? So, I think that's where I'm going to end this conversation because this little human being that I'm carrying here will not allow me to concentrate anymore. So if you have any question, I'm going to be ending this live stream maybe in the next 13 minutes. So that's by, okay, what's the time? So I'll be ending by 10:15 or 10:30. So if you have any question to ask as regards this conversation, please ask, okay? I'll be here for some few minutes to answer your questions before we go off. In the meantime, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate you. I am blessed to have you here. All right. So, any question, any inquiry, anything at all? We could not create a flyer for this because my graphics designer is not so well. But then we show up regardless, right? So I'll be waiting for your question. Entitlement mentality has not helped anyone. It has not helped me. And I've not seen anybody that it helps. And it is this entitlement mentality that has made people to love throwing pity parties. Many people like to be pitied. And so every chance they get, they tell their sorry stories. Yeah, I call it sorry stories. They tell their sorry stories so that people have pity on them, who say, hey, yeah, what a life. And then they might get maybe money or just pity. But at the end of the day, there is nothing substantial that they get from those pity parties that they keep hosting. So I think it's high time we stopped hosting pity parties. Okay, it is high time you started showing up to this life like you are here for it. Stop showing up like an extra in a movie. You know those extras that are in the background, those ones that if a main actor is acting, is busy like this on the screen, they are at the background, just so that there are people that are in the background. Or those villagers in Nigerian movies, those villagers that come to dance, or those market women. No, don't show up in your life as an extra. Don't show up in your story as others. You know, when you see casts of some movies, you see the names of the actors, the prop members, the crew, and then you see others. Stop showing up in your life as that. Be the main actor you're supposed to be in your story. Be the person you're supposed to be. Take up responsibility for people that, for the life that you have, that you don't have another chance to live again. Like, do you understand this? You don't have another shot at this life. It's not like after living this life and you die, you take inventory, okay, and then you come back to live it better. No, this is the only life you have, and you better show up. You better live it like you are not living in another one again, because really you are not. You are not. Hello, Favour. Hello, Chuku. Wow, how have you been? It's been a long while. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. David Ame is asking, what if you're in a situation where you're trying to take responsibility of your life and your loved ones are not supporting you, and at the same time they are acting as a hindrance? You cannot be a hindrance to me. You are not expected to save me, but don't make my situation worse. I will not allow that. I would have loved to have a clearer picture of this scenario, because some scenarios are distinct, so the approach might be different. But if you're not willing to support me, which is fine, don't stand in my way. I'm going to fight you with all I've got, because this is my life. I mean, I'm working on a timeline. You don't get it. I'm working on it. I have a plan for my life. And you cannot afford to be the one of my I'm going to cut you off. That is the truth. So at some point in my life, I had to cut my mom off because she was not supporting what I wanted to do. When I was little, when I was younger, I wanted to be a musician. I wrote my own song. A friend of my sister's helped me to record about 4 songs in Enugu. We came back with a couple of CDs for people to help us to publicize, or people to listen to and give their support. My mom didn't think that it was a good idea for me to be a musician. Like, to her, why should you be a musician? Like, being a musician is not a profession for her. So I was just 11 at the time, so I had no say. It was easy for her to dictate how my life went at that time. But you see, as I grew older and I became more responsible, she started giving way. Because I would tell her, I'm going for this event, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and nothing stops it. I'll give her reasons why I have to do that. Nobody stands in my way. If what I'm doing is noble, if what I'm doing is for my own good, and of course, if I'm independent, I'm not going to disturb you, right? So get out of my way. I don't know who it is that is in your way, or who is hindering you from getting there. But if you have to fight, you gotta fight for this, because I mean, a lot is at stake. But fight with wisdom. Some fights are not physical battles, all right? Some fights are intellectual battles. Some fights are spiritual battles, even. So tackle the hindrance, but don't allow it to get in the way of where you're going. All right? I would have really loved to. You might send me a message inbox so that I get a clearer picture of this situation, and if I have a better way that you can go about it, we'll talk about it, all right? But for now, it's bleak. It is unclear what advice I can give or what counsel I can give right now. Okay, but nobody is allowed to stand in your way. Nobody. I mean, nobody. Unless it's God who says, no, you cannot go there. But it's a human being. Get out of my way. Get out of my way, for real. Yeah, Solomon, that's true. So Mr. Somtochu is asking, he's saying, it's indeed a wonderful and amazing session here, Chinaza. Thank you. So my question is, how do you overcome the fear of taking a first step at something you want to do because you feel you're not good enough? How do you overcome the fear of taking the first step at something you want to do because you feel you're not good enough? So the first thing that I want to understand is, why do you feel you're not good enough? Is it because you think you've not gained enough knowledge on that subject matter? Or is it because you feel you've not gained enough experience? Sometimes our feeling of not good enough, of not being good enough, is justified. Okay, so if I want to, I know I sing, all right, but if I want to go fully into the music industry, I'm not going to feel like I'm good enough, because really I'm not good enough. Okay, I need to practice more. I need to do some work before I bring myself out, before I launch. Okay, so why do you feel you're not good enough? Is it because you've actually not gained enough knowledge or experience on that? Or is it just your imposter syndrome telling you that you are not good enough when you actually know that you have what it takes to take on this project? I want to understand it. I want you to actually understand it. Okay, so if you've actually garnered enough knowledge on this, what I'm going to say is to take that leap. Because even these most successful people that you know, they feel not good enough sometimes. They feel like imposters sometimes. They feel unworthy of the successes that they have sometimes. But then they still go ahead and do what they want to do. So for me personally, when I want to do something and I've prepared, I've planned for that thing, I go ahead and do it afraid. Because most of the time, what we need is just that first step, okay? We might need just that one step that will make us more confident. So if you've taken a step before, it is easier for you to find confidence to take a second step, because you've done it before. Do you understand? So if you've actually, I don't want you to launch before you are ready, because that will lead to colossal failure. But if you've actually done your assignment, take that step afraid. That's how many of the successful people that you know do. I don't know if you're already following me in May or in June, but when I put out the flyer for the hangout, for the Lagos hangout, I was not ready. I didn't think I was good enough to host the hangout. My question to myself was, what do you even know? I mean, why should people even pay to come and hang out with you? That was the question my mind was asking me. But I know that I already have the social proof. I wouldn't be followed by over 40,000 people if I had nothing valuable to offer. Do you understand? So I had to actually remind myself of the amazing qualities that I have, of the beautiful things that I can do that actually qualify me for that position, that actually qualify me for that thing that I want to do. So even though I still felt like I still was not good enough, I put it out. And thankfully, the 20 people that I wanted for the hangouts all paid and showed up for the event. So most times that fear that you have could just be in your head because you might not see yourself the way we see you, the way others see you. But just do it. If you are ready, if you are prepared, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Right? What is the worst that can happen? When I feel too stressed or too unsure about a task that I want to undertake, I just ask myself, what's the worst that can happen? I factor that into consideration and then I go ahead and do it. So that even if the worst happens, I'm already prepared for it. But majority of the time, it's actually the best that happens. So do it anyways. Okay. So Favour is asking, what if you're trying to take up your responsibility and achieve your goals, and you see no support, and the situation around you makes you so cold that you become so weak? That's why I said that nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. I don't know what situation it is, but try finding solutions online. Okay? YouTube is your plug, Google is your plug. Try finding solutions, try reaching out to people who might be interested in supporting you, not because you feel entitled to what they can give or to their support, but because you feel they can tap into their humanity to actually help. All right? So if you see no support and the situation around, I don't understand what you mean by the situation around makes you so cool. So maybe you might need to rephrase it so I can get it properly, right? But many people might not support you because they don't believe in you, but it's your job to believe in you so that you can build yourself to the point where they can now start believing in you. I mean, Oprah Winfrey was not the first place. Oprah Winfrey, who is now the owner, the first black woman, when I say the richest black woman, and the owner of one of the biggest TV shows in the world, Oprah Winfrey, when the first job she got as an online presenter, on air presenter, her manager sacked her, told her that she was not good enough for the job. They didn't believe in her, but she believed enough in herself to go ahead, to try out other stations, to try out other means, to finally owning her own media house, where millions of people dream their whole life to be on. Like if Oprah Winfrey calls me today, I'm made for life. Like my generation will not suffer again. Like I'm already working towards my generation not suffering again. But if Oprah Winfrey calls me today, like the answers to my prayers have come today. This is someone that was rejected, someone that came from a very poor background. I mean, nothing is ever completely hopeless. No situation is ever completely hopeless. All right, that's one thing that I have come to understand. It's an understanding that has helped me that no situation is entirely hopeless. And by this, I mean, if you see a situation as totally hopeless, you cannot even try to find a solution to whatever is going on or whatever problem that you have. But if you see it as there could be a light somewhere at the end of this tunnel, there could be a glimpse of hope here, there could be a way that I can crack this puzzle, you see yourself actually actively looking for a way to crack that puzzle, to solve that problem. And many at times you see that you'll be able to come up with a solution to that. So I would really like you to rephrase the second part of your question. And the situation around you makes you so cold that you become so weak, or you feel so it's not complete, all right? Abiola Shitu is asking, Ma, is there a chance to have a conversation with you in any of your social media platforms, like 5 minutes or less? I messaged you today on WhatsApp concerning that. I have been very occupied um, recently, but of course, there is a way to. Once I'm able to clear my desk and visit WhatsApp, I try to respond to my messages as much as I can, because I receive lots of messages in a day, but I try to respond to as much as I can. Okay, so anticipate my messages, anticipate my response soon. Okay, so Favour, this is the follow up to your question. And you feel your dreams can't be achieved. What will you do at this point? Your dreams are achievable. It's a battle of the mind, though. If you can't win a war in your mind, you cannot win it any other place. If you cannot decide in yourself, within yourself, by yourself, out of the prepositions, if you don't feel that it is, if you don't believe that it is possible, there's nothing you do that will make that thing possible. So you have to first of all believe in yourself, okay? Believe in God's belief in you. Like, bank on God's belief in you. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody here. Bank on God's belief in you. He has equipped you for this life that you're here on, that you're living right now. And He's giving you what you need. So your dreams, if you can conceive it, it's a cliche, but it is very true. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. Steve Jobs, the owner of Apple, he said that it is only those people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world that actually do. That quote has remained in my mind for since I got to know since I read it. Only those who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world, they are actually the ones who end up changing the world. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Steve Jobs himself, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of the most powerful human beings on earth today. But he was crazy to think that he could actually control world economies. Like, just one tweet from Elon Musk would change the whole stock market. Do you understand how powerful that is? So it starts in your mind. Do you think that your dreams are achievable? Regardless of what's going on around you. It starts, if this mind is transformed, the rest is history. You will not even see the obstacles anymore. You will not even see the mountains anymore. Someone said, you keep making excuses until your purposes become bigger than your excuses, until your purpose, until your vision, until your dreams become bigger than your excuses. And you still think that your dreams are not achievable because you've not hit rock bottom. Like, you have not been pushed against the wall and there's nowhere else to go. Maybe you still have somewhere else to go. That's why you're still thinking that you're still comfortable sitting on that nail. No. The moment you hit rock bottom, someone says, that person, he who is on the ground, fears no fall. If you're already on the ground, there is no fear anymore. Like, you're already there now. Where else can you fall onto? Right? So if you can think that it is possible, if you have reached your rock bottom, like if you can decide enough is enough, I'm tired of this life. Like, you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You have to be sick of the life that you have right now. That is the only time you can begin to drive change in your life. You don't pursue change from a place of comfort. It's not possible. When you're comfortable, you don't pursue any change, because what's there to pursue? If I was where I was in 20, if things went as I planned in 2018, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have discovered myself. I wouldn't have gone on this personal development journey that I'm on right now, because I would be too comfortable there to actually do anything substantial with my life. So win that battle in your mind. Believe in yourself. Nobody might believe in you now. In fact, it's not expected that people will buy into your vision or believe in you, because it's not theirs, it's yours. So it's okay that they cannot see from your perspective. You don't expect them to, but keep working on yourself, keep building to the point where they can see your light and they want to come to the brightness of it. Okay? Chukudi is asking, what's the topic of discussion, ma? The topic is no one is coming to save you. How to take responsibility for your life, or take responsibility for your life, especially as a youth or as a young person. Okay? That is the topic of discussion. David, okay, you send me a DM. That's fine. Kellison Concepts. You are late today, really late, but you can watch the replay. Okay? Okay, so cool. Thank you very much. I'm glad that was satisfactory for you. Do I have any other question? Thank you, Favour. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Another question? Another question. I think we have. Okay, it's already 1 minute past 10:30. I said I was going to stop by 10:30. So thank you very much again for being here. I really appreciate you. My baby has slept. It's not easy being a mom and doing all these things, but we keep showing up, right? So thank you. I'll see you next Thursday. If you liked this conversation, if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And if you want any of your friends to watch this, maybe a friend who you think is too laid back on life, you might need to send them the link to this video so that they can watch and actually sit up and understand that this is their life and they can make it into what they want, if only they can take responsibility for it. Okay, Solomon, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure too being on this space with you. Your contributions are really, really impactful, because I tell people, when you join a Facebook, when you join a YouTube live, go to the live chat. Some people drop bombs there. Some people drop Rima, like really hot Rima in the live chat. So when I join any, especially these sessions, I just find myself in the live chats. If I'm watching the replay, I just find myself in the live chats, because the contributions there are usually top notch. And Mr. Solomon and every other person here has just been making this amazing for me and for those other people who are able to join later on. So if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'll see you next Thursday for another episode, for the 19th episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. All right? Bye, and have a wonderful night's rest. And yeah, have a very wonderful weekend.